What is up, boyos? It is Water Buffalo Man here, and we're back for more Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle. We have the new units coming tonight. We have the legendary Super Saiyan Broly and the Super Saiyan Gohan teen dropping tonight in less than 9 hours as of me recording this. So what we're going to do is going to be doing our usual how-to build guides, or how I recommend to build units, so on and so forth. So let's just jump right in with the Broly. He is the super warrior who destroys all. Legendary Super Saiyan Broly. His leader skill becomes a new category: uncontrollable power, revenge, or planetary destruction. So his planetary destruction leader skill completely nullifies the INT Broly that just got an easy A, if you can get this one. And that's 170 across the board to all stats in Key 3. He gives an additional HP attack and defense of 30% for movie bosses, transformation boost, and pure Saiyans. So that kind of fits in with a lot of the other Broly units that may not fit uncontrollable power. I think there's a handful that don't, to be honest. Like I think it's the movie bosses trio and things like that. So they would work alongside of that. But we have his super attack. His 12 key is called Savage Blaster. Massively raises attack and defense for 1 turn, so that's a 100 buff, with a high chance of further raising defense for 1 turn by 30%. So meaning, when he launches the super attack, he will gain 100% attack and defense for that 1 turn. There's a 50-50 chance that he'll get that additional 30% defense post-super, which is going to be beneficial, yeah, down the line. I mean, it's a 50-50 chance. You might get it, you might not get it. It is what it is. And he has a high chance of stunning the enemy, causing colossal damage. His 18 key is Gigantic Driver, massively raises attack and defense for 1 turn, a high chance of further massively raising attack for 1 turn. So, causes mega colossal damage and a great chance to stunning the enemy. So what that means is he'll massively raise attack and defense again, and has a 50-50 chance of massively raising his attack stat by another 100%. So in essence, if you're launching an 18 key super and then you get your second super to pop, which I'll go into in a minute, he has 100% buff, 100% buff, and if it's 50-50, one of these two should activate every time you super, based off of statistics. I understand that's not how that's going to work every time, but statistically, if each one of them has a 50-50 chance, you're more like looking at a 25% chance that one of these two will activate, because it's just the way statistics work and everything, so on and so forth. But you theoretically will be either getting the increased attack stat, so if you do this super, get the massively raising, and then get this massively raising, this attack stat's going to do so much more because it's going to be massively raising attack again. So his attack stat's going to be boosted not once, not twice, but 3 times by 100%. Plus, if you do a double super, his defense is going up by 100% each time, plus you get the additional 30% there as well. But his passive skill is called Undying Devil. Activates the instant animation upon the character's entry once only, and extreme class allies, defense of 40% for 4 turns from the character's entry turn. So he's a defensive support unit for all allies. Or that are extreme, I'm sorry. Attack and defense of 260% and reduces damage received by 60%. So this man just has 60% damage reduction right off the rip and high defense. So they made him broken. Plus an additional attack of 100% when attacking. So that'll stack on top of these two here. Plus an additional key plus 2 and recovers 2 HP per type key sphere obtained. So every key 2, and he gets 2% health back. So that's pretty good. That's not a bad thing. That's kind of great to have. While the domain Molten Lava of Natade Village, is active, randomly changes key spheres of a certain type into an SDR excluded to SDR key spheres at the start of the character's attacking turn and guards all attacks. So if you activate his domain, he gets guard and 60% damage reduction, plus the 100% defense each time he supers. Okay, attacks effective against all types for the rest of the battle, and the character performs an attack while domain Molten Lava of... Well, his domain is active, he gets attacked effective against all types, which is just absolutely nuts on top of the amount of damage you can do off the start. Okay, starting from the 5th turn from the start of the character's entry turn, revives with 60% HP, recovered when the character or an ally attacking the same turn is KO'd once only. Plus an additional defense of 60% when receiving an attack after the character or the ally's revival skill is activated. So meaning, if his revival skill goes off or someone else's on the team goes off, he gets 60% more defense when he gets hit. So that 60% will go into with this, plus having the damage reduction, plus having the supers. His defense is going to be through the roof, plus the guaranteed guard if it's during the domain. Changes Fist key spheres to INT key spheres, an uncontrollable power category allies attacking defense of 60% at the start of the turn. Start of character's attacking turn, starting from the turn on which the character's revival skill is activated. So he changes all Fizz key spheres to INT key spheres, and gives everybody that's an uncontrollable power category ally 60% attack and defense at the start of turn for the characters. Start of the character's attacking turn, starting from the turn in which the revival skill is activated. So I'm not sure if that's a one-turn thing. Not entirely sure, but if it is, that's still a 60% buff for one turn. Is kind of nice. But as you can see, it's very void of additionals, very void of crits, very void of dodge. So we're going to probably build him straight across the board like a balanced unit. But active skill, massively raises attack temporarily, causes ultimate damage to the enemy, and creates the domain Molten Lava of Natade Village for 3 turns. Activation conditions can be activated when there's a Goku's family category enemy, or when all allies attacking the same turn are uncontrolled power category characters once only. And there's no turn restriction, so it could be turn 1, pop this right off, instantly going right into Super Broly. The domain effect, uncontrollable power category enemies and allies, attack and defense of 15%, increases damage received by superclass enemies and allies by 15%, plus an additional 10% for characters who belong to the movie heroes category. So he's going to buff himself and increase the amount of damage that any super and super movie hero, which that's the only way you can do movie heroes, type would be taking. So how much more damage they'll be taking. And his best linking partner is clearly the new Tech BROLY, which just dropped, which that's an insane amount of stats right there as well with these two side by side. There's going to be slot 1, slot 2 kind of thing right here. I mean, I guess, honestly. I really don't even know. And then there's this man here, so you could have one rotation of this man with this one, and then another rotation of this man with this one, or you can have like this rotation. This is just nuts, dude. Like, this team is just going to be absolutely broken. But how I'm looking at building this man, which I honestly really don't know yet, because it's so, you have to get him in the game, we have to feel how he plays first, realistically. But I'm going to be basing him off a normal int type unit, and I'm just going to take a look at that and see how we go. But as you can see, int gets a guaranteed 5 into dodge right off the rip, so that's kind of pretty good for him. So he gets that guaranteed 5 dodge. I'm going to say probably go more or less, I'm going to say additionals, because I like the ideas of this, additional crit and dodge. I'm going to say go pretty even across the board, kind of like, he already has 5 in the dodge, so I'm probably going to say go 3 additional top left, 3 crit, and then 3 additional again. So 6 additional top left, 3 crit, 5 dodge. And then the bottom, go probably additional 3, so that puts that 9, plus crit again, puts that 6. And then maybe just slap 3 dodge in there to give him 8 dodge, and then again, additional again. So you're looking at probably 12 additional, 6 crit, and 8 dodge is what I said. 12 additional, 6 crit, 8 dodge, I think is what I was saying. Yeah, we're going to go 12 additional, 6 crit, and 9 dodge, and that is for a 79 or 100% build. But if you're 55%, you only have the 5 additional into dodge. So realistically, for his skill orbs, it's going to be almost the exact same thing as a normal build. I would go additional crit all the way across the board for his skill orbs, for bronze additional crit, silver additional crit, and gold additional crit. Because this man's defense is just going to be so high, especially if his guard is active, damage reduction, and he's had his revive go off. He's just going to be nuts. And even without the revive going off, he's just going to fit so well into that slot. He's going to take almost no damage. But yeah, realistically, I mean, this man is just going to be an absolutely busted unit. We just have to see him in game. But I'm going to say, yeah, additional 12, 6 crit, and 8 dodge. Maybe a little more dodge if you want. You can go take one of the additionals and throw it over to the dodge if you really feel like it. But that's just what I'm saying, 12, 6, 8. I think that's going to be great for this man. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.